So someone has a question then. Question number, yeah, he said, thank you, Prof. He said, is it possible to carry out hybrid model from traditional model result and machine learning model result on weaker environment? Yeah. So he says, is it possible to carry out hybrid model? It depends on what we mean by traditional model. You see, by traditional model, if you mean like statistical regression, so the difference is going to be, in machine learning, there's a concept of training and testing, which we don't have in the case of the traditional regression model. So you only work on the data and then you generate the line of it, the regression equation, and then you move on. However, for machine learning modeling, it's a totally different concept, whereby in addition to the training set, you keep some as testing set or validation set, which is external to what you are building. You bring it later after finishing model building, and then you can then check it to check the accuracy of it. So if what you mean by traditional model can generate results just like the machine learning will generate, that's fine. You can bring them together in an ensemble so that they can jointly, because when we talk of a hybrid, there's a difference between hybrid and ensemble. You see, ensemble is when you allow multiple classifiers or models to take decision, and then you can now find the average of their decision to be able to take better decision, because it has been established that the best way to take decision is to have many people to come together to take a decision. And machine learning is also supporting this principle, that once you have multiple machine learning models, let up out the output, you can put the output in Excel, and then you can use either, if it is classification, you can use simple majority voting to do the final result. Out of 5 models, 3 of them said there is fraud, 2 of them said no fraud. We go with there is fraud because majority carries the vote if you are using the majority voting. You can also use the boosting method, whereby you assign higher weight to some of the trusted models. You see, classifier that are higher performance measure, you give them more weight. It's just like a professor of medicine of 25 years of experience, with 25 years of experience, is taking decision about either to go for surgery for a patient or not. We give you like 3 marks, 3 points. If you say yes. For training doctor, we give them 1 because they are just training, they don't have the experience. So if the professor says we go, and 2 of the other training doctors say we don't go, 3 against 2, that would be we go for it. However, that does not mean that the professor cannot make mistake, because sometimes he may make mistake in his judgment, even though he's a consultant or a chief consultant. In that case, we'll be multiplying his mistake by that weight, by 3. And that's why we have other method of ensemble, like stacking, whereby we don't need to do majority voting and we don't do weighted voting. We go for another training to determine the final output. You can check this out in some of our videos on how to implement ensemble methods. We had several videos in this series before. As for hybrid is when you have a kind of series connection. Ensemble has a parallel system, while hybrid is series. You use this to pre-process. For example, I can use fuzzy logic to pre-process my data to undo the uncertainty in my data, and then I can keep the next output to another machine learning for training and testing. That is an hybrid system. So hopefully in future we have the opportunity to discuss more about it. So in short, your question, you can use it, you can combine them if they are the same, but most traditional statistical based method, they don't have testing set, unlike the machine learning model. But if you can make them to have the same system, for sure, we can always mix them together. So I look at the chart here. Okay, there's a question here. We'll be taking the old question gradually. Let's take the live question here now. Yeah, thank you very much. There's a questioner here. He said, knowing what is going to happen in future by AI and ML, is it not going against what Allah says in the Quran that no one knows what will happen tomorrow? Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much for that. Yes. No one knows what will happen tomorrow. However, like I said, it is not magic. It's not a soothsayer. Are you with me? There is always some level of error. See, when they build model, you have a system that will check, okay, what's the percentage accuracy, what's not the percentage accuracy. You see, if when you look at the principle, for example, principle of rain, the rain that will fall is only known by Almighty God. No one knows it. Yeah, that is an established fact. However, science has made it possible for us to have an insight. Although we cannot be categorically sure if it's going to happen or not, but with some level of certainty of errors, we can have an idea. It's not that we know the future. We don't know the future, and we can never know the future. However, for example, like a tsunami, before tsunami happens, there are a lot of earthquakes that will have taken place under the sea. But as human beings, we don't have that capability to know what is taking place under the sea. But now people have gone to install some gadgets that will capture data. The moment that data is coming, it's being passed to a system, machine learning modeling cycle, that is continuously checking the pattern of waves on the sea. Once they notice a pattern that is similar to the last tsunami that happened, then they ring an alarm that, hey, the last time we had this kind of characteristic under the sea, there was tsunami. Then they will alarm that there's going to be tsunami in so part of the country, and then they will evacuate people to prevent the effect or this negative effect. Sometimes the tsunami will happen, sometimes it will not happen. See, you can see, but sometimes it may happen that the prediction is correct. Then that is, the information is there for us to know. There are some signs, but we don't have the capability if you don't deal with this kind of data analytics system. So the way we look at it is, it's not that we are contending about the issue of knowing the future. No, we don't know the future. But however, it's just like when something happens or some things are happening around the kids, you as an elder, preventive measure is a must on you. You see, a child is playing with a knife or razor blade. You have from previous experience that most likely this child may cut his own hand. You quickly try to collect it from that child. You don't know the future. He may not cut it, but you don't leave it for disaster to happen. You take preventive measure. So this is what I equate this kind of predictive solution to. If the information is available within us together, that okay, when you see these signs, it may rain. There's some country, if it rains suddenly, there'll be a lot of disaster because the children, they don't have good drainage system because they don't experience a lot of rain. So there's no plan for that. It's very little rain will become very disastrous. So they try to work on predict solution that will have an idea. Is it going to rain tomorrow? If the rain is going to, if they say there's going to be rain with high probability, they will cancel school. They will close school for that day because they want to try to see how far can they prevent disaster if they can. But finally, in the realm of qadar wa taqdir, whatever will happen then will happen. But as human beings, if we have capability, there's nothing preventing us from taking action that can prevent disaster that we think may happen. We don't leave it without taking any action. I hope that clarifies the point. After watching the 4 videos earlier provided for people, okay, thank you very much. So some videos have been put there. Okay, there's another question, Prof. Wouldn't AI and machine learning cause unemployment? When work experts are reduced by machine, well, the fact remains, that's why I say we use machine learning and AI responsibly. There are some people that will lose their job. There are a lot of people also that will get job. In fact, the debate is still on that AI will create more job, that it will make people to lose more job. You see? And when we talk of responsible and ethical utilization of AI, we should not implement AI for whatever is possible to implement. However, we implement subject to need. We have to look at the pros and cons. If people have to, for example, you have to implement AI, you implement AI in entering your door, in entering your compound. The day the AI will fail, you may not be able to enter your house. You see, there are still some states in some developed country, even though they have access to AI, the government made some policy that no one should use AI to do filling station. They insisted that they must employ people to work on filling station, gas station, to fill your car for you, and they pay them on monthly basis. Because if they implement the self-help system, a lot of people will lose their job. So that is the reality of the world. It's a technology. A lot of job opportunity for people. If we can quickly know a little about it, we can see how we can implement our work. It will boost our production. Then we can employ more people to work for our company. So it's not a one way. Some people will lose job, while a lot of people will also gain job. So thank you, Prof, for this valuable knowledge you're teaching out. I'm not a science or engineering student. My orientation is social science, basically media. Well, you are welcome, irrespective of where you are highly welcome. You are social science or media. Yeah, you can relate. What I suggest to you is check out what has been posted on top before your own message. Check it out. You see there are 4 videos on introduction to machine learning. Look at it, listen to those 4 videos. Then there is another one that follows, 3 on how you can build your first model. Try to pass through it. You get an idea what we are saying, and then you can relate with. Irrespective of your area, you can always make use of AI and machine learning. If you think you can make use of it, it's because you are yet to understand what really it's all about. So go through those videos, and also check out the video where I said that why you can no longer ignore AI and machine learning. By the time you also check out those videos, it will shed more light on some of the possibilities and advantages inherent in this technology and how you can use it. And you're also welcome to get back to us. Yeah, so thank you very much. So how can I leverage AI to broadcast media content production? Okay. Yeah, it's already been utilized. A lot of work are going on in that area in the LLM, large language model. So you can just describe a scene you want to see, and then the system will generate for you videos and interaction, voice messages, depending on what you want to do. Thank you very much. That's Mr. Isaac Oladapo. I saw your comment. Thank you very much. Yeah. Whatever we use AI for is to support and let us make use of the abundant knowledge that God has granted us. That ordinarily as human beings, there's no way you can manage those huge knowledge. So with machine learning, then we can then be able to manage them, take advantage of it, and have information at hand to prevent disaster where appropriate. Thank you very much. I believe that's some of the questions today. Oh, is somebody raising hand? Professor Taufik, you have the floor. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Prof.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam to wa barakatuh.
Yeah, a particular one in the advantages of use of AI.
Yeah.
The advantage of early detection of ailments.
Yeah.
Wherein it may, when we are seeking curative means, we will not need to use antibiotics. Caught my attention, and I feel I should say something about this.
Okay.
Antibiotic usage in animal health care is being really discouraged because when we use antibiotics at a time, the medication may be abused, and it may lower the capacity of animals to respond to subsequent treatments. And that is one. Number two, repeat antibiotics in animals that are passed to the human in consumption as meat or flesh also has a way of affecting capacity to handle antibiotics and even functionality of antibiotics that we use in us. So because of this, antibiotic usage is being seriously discouraged in animal production. And when I saw it in one of your, they listed as one of the advantages that it may require only vitamin, and then we move on, no loss. But when we see the animal going down, stressed, the ailment, we'll be forced to want to use antibiotics, and then we'll fall into this particular fear. So in organic agriculture, it's forbidden, entirely forbidden. Of course, in conventional agriculture, it is being because of what we now know about the usage of antibiotics medication for animals. So I just said to emphasize this one so that we know that this machine learning thing, predicting things for us so that we can, take action before things get out of hand, it's a huge benefit in animal production. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Prof. We really appreciate your presence. Yeah, it's been a very always educative as a professor of agriculture. I know, so I don't know which aspect, but we always enjoy his contribution, his comments. It's coming from a professional, so of repute in that area. And thank you very much. Yes, that is why we seriously need proactive medical intervention, even in human being. We started some work in the past. We're still working on it. Why do we wait for disease to struck heavily before we start the treatment? Often there's nothing you can do. By the time the symptoms start coming, it is almost late. Because it takes time in the blood, the organs have been damaged before the symptom comes outside. And we often treat symptoms. But with proactive medical practice in human being and also in animal, then we can go a long way to detect that something is already going on in this man's body. He is playing football, even in human being. He's playing football, but he's no more healthy. His kidney is already 70% packed up. See, because often than not, no complaint until almost 90% of the organ is gone. Then when the pain starts, oh, we are sorry, it's late stage. This has always been associated with chronic diseases. So the idea is, can't we make use of AI to detect, like the example given by our professor, before the animal sickness get to the point that we don't have option, we have to use antibiotics on them. I like that particular principle that no antibiotics. Even human beings, some people before they are sick, antibiotics. My belief is some of these things, your body system can build immunity that will fight them. Taking some natural things like honey and some stuff. But once it is too deep in your body, then you don't have option. You have to take whatever is available to get it cured at the expense of the side effects. So thank you very much once again, Prof. So that is proactive medical care or proactive veterinary system in animal production. That's another area of research for people who may be interested in utilizing machine learning. I think Tia Ayebusi, maybe one more question before we call it a day. Dr. Ayebusi, am I right?
Yes, yeah. Good morning, Prof. And thanks so much for the effort.
Yeah, good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, I can see for the past few weeks, our efforts have been focused on agriculture. And I actually agree that it is very, very essential for our survival. As Yoruba will say, however, I believe much can actually be achieved vis-a-vis any human endeavor in very peaceful and a secure environment. I've been a peace, conflict, and security scholar. I want to plead also that students that we should also look at the application of AI, area of peace, conflict, and security. Because I believe most of these our endeavor as human beings we can actually achieve much when we have an environment that is secure and peaceful, even vis-a-vis agricultural output. I recently joined the group created by Prof on agriculture, hoping that probably we who actually, when we look at the Northeast and Northwest as a case study, we will all agree that most of the agricultural output have been drastically reduced because of the insurgency and armed banditry going on in the area. What I'm saying in essence is I want to plead that if after this discourse of us on the area of agriculture, also if we could actually explore the relevancy and the usefulness of AI in the field of peace, conflict, and security study. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ayegusi, for that interesting suggestion. Well noted. Yeah, security is very important and they are interrelated. So we are going to see the possibility of having some talks on that area, and they also encourage us and see what we can do. However, we will see, because we already have a couple of few other topics also, based on also requests that we'll be looking at, and based on common interests of people. That's why I thank you very much for supporting the agricultural stuff. Food is very important. That's why I dedicated more than the past weeks, almost how many months now, we'll be talking of animal production, crop production, and the like. So thank you very much. We'll look at that and we'll put it as part of the to-do list. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I believe that is where we are going to call it a day here. So we encourage us all to benefit others by sharing some of what we have here. Share the link to joining the weekly program. So, and most of others also. We have this YouTube channel that then benefit. This is the essence of it. Want to reach as many people as possible so that we can all see the importance of this unique technology and how we can take positive use of it. Every technology has negative and positive side. We work on ethical and responsible artificial intelligence. That is what I promote. We use it responsibly while avoiding the negative side like bias and some other stuff. And hopefully sometime we have the opportunity to talk about how to ensure ethical and responsible artificial intelligence. So once again, thank you very much, and then wishing you all the best. Thank you.